The grandeur of the City Justice Center often masked the imperfections within its walls, a stark contrast to the idealized image of justice it was meant to uphold. Courtroom 3, a space typically filled with the sober proceedings of law, was about to become the epicenter of a scandal that would expose the deep-seated biases lurking within the system. Judge Thompson, a figure of authority with decades of experience etched into his stern face, was known for his strict adherence to legal protocol and his unyielding demeanor. Yet, concealed beneath his composed exterior lay a prejudice that would soon shatter the facade of impartiality he had carefully cultivated throughout his career. In the defendant's chair sat Elijah Jones, a bright and promising young black man whose dreams of a future in architecture were now threatened by a wrongful accusation. The weight of the charges bore down on him, amplified by the systemic injustices that seemed to stack the odds against him. As the trial began, an ominous tension settled over the courtroom, a palpable sense that something was amiss. The prosecution presented its case, relying on flimsy circumstantial evidence, while Elijah's defense team worked tirelessly to expose the inconsistencies and holes in their argument. However, the scales of justice seemed to tip against Elijah when Judge Thompson, abandoning all pretense of objectivity, launched into a tirade of racially charged remarks directed at the young man. His words, dripping with prejudice and steeped in harmful stereotypes, painted Elijah as a menace to society, a criminal deserving of punishment solely based on the color of his skin. The courtroom gasped in collective shock as the judge's hateful words echoed through the room, shattering the illusion of fairness and exposing the ugly reality of racial bias within the legal system. Every comment was a jab, every accusation a blow, leaving Elijah and his supporters reeling from the blatant display of prejudice. The judge's words were not just insensitive. They were a direct assault on Elijah's humanity, reducing him to a caricature based on harmful stereotypes that had plagued society for far too long. The emotional toll on Elijah was immense, as he realized that his fate was being decided not on the basis of evidence, but on the basis of the judge's deeply ingrained prejudices. The shockwaves from Judge Thompson's racist outbursts extended far beyond the walls of Courtroom 3, igniting a firestorm of public outrage and condemnation. A sharp-eyed journalist, witnessing the appalling scene firsthand, immediately recognized the significance of the moment and published a scathing article exposing the judge's reprehensible behavior. The story quickly spread like wildfire across social media platforms, igniting a digital rebellion against injustice. Hashtags like #JusticeForElijah and #RemoveJudge Thompson trended worldwide, amplifying the voices of those demanding accountability and an end to racial bias in the legal system. Civil rights organizations, legal advocacy groups, and community leaders joined the chorus of voices denouncing the judge's actions and calling for his immediate removal from the bench. Protests erupted outside the courthouse, drawing thousands of demonstrators who stood united in their demand for equality and an end to systemic racism. Banners emblazoned with powerful messages like Black Lives Matter and Justice for All waved in the air, a testament to the unwavering determination of those fighting for a more just and equitable society. A formal complaint, meticulously drafted by a coalition of concerned attorneys and community activists, was filed with the state's Judicial Conduct Commission, accusing Judge Thompson of violating judicial ethics, abusing his power, and undermining the integrity of the legal system. The complaint detailed the specific instances of racist remarks, citing witness testimonies, and providing irrefutable evidence of the judge's bias. The pressure on authorities to act swiftly and decisively mounted as the nation watched with bated breath, waiting to see if justice would ultimately prevail. Celebrities, athletes, and influencers used their platforms to amplify the message, further galvanizing public support and ensuring that the story remained at the forefront of the national conversation. The Judicial Conduct Commission, facing immense public pressure and mounting evidence of wrongdoing, launched an immediate and thorough investigation into Judge Thompson's behavior. A panel of experienced attorneys, retired judges, and community representatives was assembled to oversee the investigation, ensuring impartiality and transparency throughout the process. Investigators delved into Judge Thompson's past rulings, meticulously scrutinizing his decisions to identify any patterns of bias or discriminatory treatment. Witnesses were called to testify under oath, including attorneys who had appeared before him, court staff who had observed his behavior, and even past defendants who claimed to have been subjected to similar prejudice. The investigation uncovered a disturbing history of racially insensitive remarks, questionable rulings, and an overall pattern of bias that cast a dark shadow over Judge Thompson's career. The key arguments for the judge's removal centered on his violation of judicial ethics, his failure to uphold the principles of impartiality and equal justice under law, and the irreparable damage he had inflicted on the public's trust in the legal system. Legal experts argued that his actions had not only prejudiced Elijah's case, but had also undermined the very foundation of the justice system, creating a climate of fear and distrust among marginalized communities. The judge's defense team attempted to portray his remarks as isolated incidents, misconstrued or taken out of context. They argued that he had a long and distinguished career of serving the community fairly, and that removing him would set a dangerous precedent, undermining judicial independence. However, their efforts proved futile in the face of overwhelming evidence and the unwavering public outcry. The ethical and legal considerations were carefully weighed as the investigation progressed, setting the stage for a landmark decision that would have far-reaching implications for the future of the judiciary. The commission meticulously reviewed every piece of evidence, listened intently to every testimony, and deliberated at length to ensure that their decision was just, fair, and in accordance with the law. The climax arrived when the Judicial Conduct Commission issued its final ruling. Judge Thompson was to be immediately removed from the bench, stripped of his judicial authority and barred from ever serving in a judicial capacity again. The decision was unanimous, reflecting the overwhelming weight of the evidence and the gravity of his misconduct. The ruling cited his blatant violation of judicial ethics, his failure to uphold the principles of impartiality, and the irreparable damage he had inflicted on the public's trust in the legal system. News of Judge Thompson's removal spread like wildfire, igniting celebrations in the streets and a renewed sense of hope that justice could indeed prevail. Elijah Jones, though still grappling with the ordeal of his trial, felt a sense of vindication, knowing that the system had at least partially corrected its course. The removal of Judge Thompson served as a powerful reminder that no one, regardless of their position or power, is above the law, and that those who betray the public's trust will be held accountable. Judge Thompson, once a respected figure in the legal community, now faced the consequences of his prejudice, his career in ruins and his reputation tarnished beyond repair. He became a pariah, shunned by his former colleagues and ostracized by society. His legacy would forever be defined by his racist conduct and the stain he had left on the justice system. But his downfall also served as a catalyst for change, sparking a renewed commitment to addressing systemic biases within the legal system and ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their race or background, are treated with fairness and respect. The story concludes with a call to action, urging lawmakers, legal professionals, and community members to work together to dismantle the structures of inequality and create a truly just and equitable society for all. It emphasizes the need for ongoing training to combat unconscious bias, for greater diversity in the judiciary, and for policies that promote transparency and accountability within the legal system. It is a story that underscores the importance of vigilance, the power of collective action, and the enduring pursuit of justice in the face of adversity, all while leaving open a sequel possibility for the future struggles of Elijah and the fight against systemic injustice. Here is the end. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more like this.